Yeah, you
right?
can't just throw in that one little bit of wisdom from the disease. You've got to start right at the beginning.
You've got to address the core foundation principles to which they are looking and assessing life by.
Yeah.
Right now, that's a funny thing about it. When they come to see me, the first thing I do is I show them a page. I go, listen, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Because if I went somewhere, I'd want to know what they're going to do. I go, right,
Sure.
this is what we're going to do. And on the page, it says, we're going to go from an incorrect understanding of life. I go, that's where people are when they come in, or they've got an incorrect understanding of life, incorrect concept of what life's about. And we're going to take them from that incorrect understanding of life to a correct understanding of what life's about.
Okay.
And then we're going to show them lessons of wisdom, because lessons in wisdom don't apply to an incorrect understanding of life, but they do apply to a correct one. They make sense there. Now, what do you think happens when I actually show that to therapists? If I say that to a therapist, we're going to show a person what an incorrect understanding of life is, and we're going to take them to a correct understanding of life, and then show them. Not allowed to say that.
Yeah, right.
They go, who are you?
Yeah,
Who
what's
are you to
correct for
say you know what a
you
correct
is,
understanding of life is?
yeah, yeah.
I love it, because I go straight back at them, pal.
Mm.
You don't know what a correct understanding of life is? Didn't you do, aren't you? Your course? What happened to your course? Didn't they
Yeah,
teach you that in your course? Or did
sure.
they say there's no such thing as right and wrong?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it. Yeah.
Yeah. No such. If anyone ever says to you out there, there's no such thing as right and wrong, what do you say? What's the
Oh,
reply?
yeah. Is that right?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that knocks them about for a little bit. But anyway, we open that subject up more, and then they said there's right and wrong in certain things. It depends on what
Sure.
you're talking about. Anyway,
Yeah.
now, so that's schizophrenia. Just one more, gambling.
Oh, okay. I know a few people that like to gamble. This will be interesting.
Mm. Now we're talking about gambling addiction.
Yes, okay. It's not just
Addiction.
I like to get on the pokies once a week or once a fortnight. It's like
Man,
compulsive
yep,
spending everything they've got, and I'm sure there's a lot
yeah,
behind it.
yeah. So what we're talking about is addiction,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What does a win mean to the gambler?
Oh, they'd feel like they had control over their life and that they're steering life towards whatever's in their achievement box, yeah?
Close. Let's do it this way, right? In the addiction to gambling, what's going on is they're after a particular state of mind. Just like with all addiction, they're after a state of mind.
Okay.
Which state of mind? Well, it's all about what the win means to them.
Ah,
To some of them, the win means this, right? Now, these are the crew that believe that it really is a gamble. It's a 50-50, could go any way.
okay.
To them, the win means that life is on your side. The cards are falling your way at the moment. And they need that state of mind before they believe they can get out there and have a go at something. They believe that, I need the state of mind where I believe that life's on my side at the moment, the cards are falling my way, good. I can risk getting out there and having a go.
Yep.
They believe they need that state of mind.
Hmm.
Now, the other ones, they're the ones that are going, hey, this ain't 50-50. This, what do you mean? No, they go, there's a system. I can beat the system.
Oh,
Having a
yeah.
system, right? So
Sure.
under their mind, it's not gambling. It's a system.
Yeah, they're like stroking the poker machine saying, oh, I know this one's ready to go.
Yeah,
It's sort
that's
of,
right. And what they're doing is they believe they need the state of mind where they can beat the system,
hmm.
right? They believe they need the state of mind where they believe they can beat the system. And gambling is their means for that, because they see everything to be, it's on system, right? And if they can get out there and they can beat that machine, or if they can win that card game, okay, to their mind it means, right, I can beat the system, so now I can risk getting out there and trying to make things go the way I want.
Gotcha.
Right, so they're after the state of mind. One of them's after the state of mind where they believe that life's on their side. The other one is after the state of mind where they believe they can beat the system.
Hmm.
That's what's going on in the gambling. The adrenaline junkie.
Okay.
Now, this is not the people they get off a fast bike ride. They go, oh, I love adrenaline. Not that guy. The
Yeah.
adrenaline junkie is the guy that goes out and hangs up underneath a rock face.
I knew
Right,
you were going to go there.
right.
Sure.
Okay, now there's a difference. The adrenaline junkie is the one, right, that believes in order, or believe this, I need a particular state of mind. What state of mind? I need the state of mind where, right, I believe that I'm not letting my fears get in the way of me doing things. They need that state of mind, right? So they go, right, in order for me to achieve the things I achieve in life, I need to know I'm not letting my fears get in the way of them. I need a dose of that. I need to know I'm feeling that way. So they will go and do something scary in order to get that state of mind. They all die.
Yeah, actually.
You're not dead yet, so it doesn't relate to you.
Yeah.
Okay? They all die.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, where do you cap that? They just keep on going and going until eventually luck runs
Splat.
out. Yeah. That happened to a famous rock climber recently, actually, who he started out with rock climbing, then it started doing tightrope walks across cliffs,
Yeah.
and then skydive, base jumping, I think it's called. And yeah, he recently, his luck ran out. So
Yeah. So what they're doing is, see, they once they've done something, got used to it, it's no longer scary enough. It's not seen as it was life-threatening.
yeah, right.
So they've got to move on to the next thing that's a bit more dangerous, right? In order to get that sense that they're not letting their fears stop them doing things.
Yeah, sure.
So what they do is they do things more dangerous and take less caution.
Yeah, actually, I remember listening to an interview with him, and I got that sort of vibe. Actually, he was saying how the reason he liked doing it was because of the intense attention required, which would have been the fear element that you were talking about. So he felt that he could beat that feeling of being scared, and then it just kept going up and up.
That's the component there. He can
Yeah.
beat that feeling of being scared. Not what you
Yeah.
just said a minute ago, but he can, not the attention.
But I'm saying
it's
he
the-
probably didn't understand. That's what he was saying. But
Yeah.
really, it was probably, if he had to keep scaling it up, it would have been more about the fear.
Yes, beating the fear, right?
Yeah.
Now, so out of it, what happens is the difference between the adrenaline junkie and the person that goes and rock climbs is the person that goes and rock climbs will not go out on that face unless they know everything is secure and they're coming back.
Yeah.
Meaning they've pretty well taken the fear out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I feel
Because
pretty
it's safe.
confident in the equipment I'm using, and I want to know that I've got a good belay partner operating my rope for me.
What
And,
was that? Your insurance policy?
no, belay operator.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So no, it's yeah, I'm quite a cautious person with that stuff for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have the fun of working your way around something, but that doesn't mean that death is involved in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So it's not a beat your fears component.
No.
It's a different component.
Yeah.
Right. Now, so with it, the adrenaline junkie is that. So they keep trying things that are more scary, taking risks, and splat. That's what's going on there. You doing things in life. People may not be aware of this, but many people say if you give them a dose of fear, they'll go and do something.
Yeah,
They
I've heard
go,
that saying.
make them scared. Fear makes you do things. No, it doesn't.
People say
Fear
that
doesn't
about
make you
anger
do
too, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Different thing altogether. It's not the anger that makes you do things, right? But in fear's case, they think fear makes you do something. I go, no, it doesn't. It just makes you scared.
Yeah, absolutely.
What makes you do something is what?
Your
What governs how
beliefs.
you act?
Your
Yeah.
beliefs.
That's right. It's your beliefs that govern whether you go and do something or not.
Yeah. Well, one
That's why
person could be scared and they're paralyzed, and another person does act, but that's all belief orientated.
Yeah, that's right. The person who runs back into the fire to save someone's life, they didn't
Yeah.
take courage in the slightest,
That's
as
so true.
Eckhart Tolle said.
Yeah.
Right?
They pick up a car in the moment or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What happens is they went back in to save the person's life because of reasons.
Absolutely.
And if you listen to them at the end or you psychoanalyze them, you find those reasons. Oh, yeah, I couldn't have lived with myself if I didn't. They got reasons, right? Action is done on reasons. It is not done by fear.
Yeah.
It's done on reason. So if you want your workers to work, you don't have to do it by fear.
Sure. You need to understand what makes them tick, understand their values, don't you?
That's right. And you provide them with the benefits of things.
That taught me a lot, actually, understanding that with how I related with people. And like I work in a sort of managerial position and I have many times, and it changed the way I thought about that. Like, I need to really understand their values, what makes them tick, and communicate
Yeah.
what's important to me in terms of their values if I really want to
Yeah.
get through to
Yeah.
them.
You could go the other management role where they go, no, I'm going to put the person down. Let's get this company working well by making it not a team. Let's have them all competing against each other, and let's see if, as a manager, we can actually put them down and make them feel bad about themselves, and that's going to make them better for our company. What?
Yeah, that's insane,
That,
isn't it?
I mean, that can't be management 101,
No.
but there's a lot of it out there.
Yeah, no, you're
They
right.
actually go about, right, making the workers feel worse about themselves, make them out to be stupid, right? Really go mad at them, and they think they're actually going to get more work from them.
Yeah, I see that
No.
in big companies where they've got a lot of
We see it all the
employees.
time.
Yeah,
I see it all the time. What they end up with is a high staff turnover.
that's exactly
That's
right.
all they end up with,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's amazing, isn't it? Anyway,
Yeah, can I
my
shift
30-second biff.
our topic here just slightly, because I think it's kind of relates. We're talking about management here. What about parenting? Your views on parenting? Because that's something that a lot of people have problems with socially.
Huge. How many hours you got? Now, big.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I catch myself saying to my
Let's
daughter,
go and help a parent. Let's go and help a parent, right? Parent. Let's
Yeah.
go and help the parent feel good about parent
help me out.
by let's telling the parent that the parent can stuff a kid's life up. Let's do that approach. What do you reckon? Let's go out there and get the parent, and we're going to give the parent a whole weekend program on how they're going to make sure they don't stuff the kid's life up. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. Not a great idea, I don't think.
For sure.
Let's instead provide them with an understanding of life that allows them to see that one of the greatest lessons you can ever teach your kids is that as a parent, you don't know everything. You're still learning. You're still growing.
My daughter teaches me things all the time, and she's 3.5.
That's right. That's exactly right. Okay, so with it, the first thing you learn as a parent is you're not going to know everything.
Very true.
But the one thing
That's
you're going
a
to
good
have
point,
to learn, one thing you're going to have to learn is you can't stuff a kid's life up. The only thing you can be to that child is an experience. That is what you are going to be, an experience to that child. Okay?
Okay, yep.
That's all anyone is. Oh, but society's philosophy is that, here you go, people aren't going to like this. Doesn't matter because it actually saves lives.
Sure.
So let's do it, right? I'll say that again. People are not going to like this. But we're going to do it because it saves lives. That's not a bad reason.
Yeah.
Okay. You're looking like a bit of a victim to me. You're a victim. How you feeling now? You ever heard of the victim mentality?
Yeah, yep.
Or put it another way, people being called their victim?
Yeah.
Right. How do you feel about being called a victim? Good?
Called a victim. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, I don't know what you mean exactly, to be honest.
No, that's fine. That's good. Right. So next question is, what's a victim? What qualifies a person as a victim? Because I'm pretty sure everyone's heard the word victim out there.
Yeah.
If
So
you haven't, turn on the radio tomorrow, listen for 10 minutes, you're going to hear it.
yeah. A
Right.
victim, I guess people would associate with being done wrong by something, an incident, had some unfortunate incident. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's get more specific, but that's it. Two things have happened. Your life has been through somebody else's bloody cause, right?
Yeah.
Actions. Your life has been diverted from the path of events that you're meant to be taking, and hence jeopardized your chance of making your life what your life could have been. Right? And it's taken away your chance of proving that you're a worthwhile investment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right? And do you know what it means? It means that, well, basically your values dropped. Yeah. Right. Now, how do you feel about that? Your life's gone wrong. You're not going to be able to create the existence you're supposed to be able to create in order to prove you're a valuable existence, right? And hence your values drop. So basically, you're a victim. Now, how do you feel?
I don't think you could feel anything but shit looking at life like that. So,
Yes. Well, at the moment, that's what's going on. Everyone's been called a victim.
mm,
That's where the pain is. The pain is caused not by the event they're involved in.
yes, yeah,
Right? We're talking about psychological pain here.
yeah,
Their psychological pain is not caused by the event. It is always caused by what the event means to them.
yeah,
Hear that?
yeah. That's big.
Right? Not talking to you. You're right there. I know you heard it. I'm talking to everyone else. Do you hear that? The psychological pain is never caused by the event. It is always caused by what you believe the event means to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, let me tell you something else, even more important. Right? The person that did the so-called action that we would generally turn around and say, that ain't so great a way to act, we're
Yep.
not letting that person off the hook either. We are not condoning the actions. If the actions are not what we would consider to be, really good, correct actions, what we do is we have to get to the cause of the actions. Where do you look when you're trying to find the cause of someone's actions?
Yeah, you'd have to analyze what makes them tick. What are their values, beliefs?
We're looking at their belief
What
systems.
govern their actions? Yeah.
That's right. We look at their belief systems, always their belief systems, right? And from that, we will find the incorrect beliefs that are responsible for the actions.
That doesn't
right.
happen.
We're not
for the
letting that person
record.
off the hook, right? We're not letting that person off the hook. But guess what? We also understand that that person couldn't have chosen to have acted different.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That person could not have chosen to have acted different. How do you know that? Because we went and assessed the reasons from the actions, right? So what we're finding out is that person too is a byproduct of society, a byproduct of all the factors that have played a role in the belief system structure that person holds. Boy, that person's got some lessons to learn, eh? I think we better provide them with it. Now,
Yeah.
so back to the what? I'm not calling a victim. You're going to call him a victim? You better not call him Jade, you're not calling him a victim, are you?
No.
No. They're not a victim.
Yeah.
But if you want to make them feel lousy, if you want to send them towards suicide, call them a victim.
But that's what a lot of therapists would do, isn't it?
Of course they do. They have no idea what they're doing, and they're calling them a victim and expecting them to get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are not a victim. Now, how do we know they're not a victim? Well, we do know that their life has not progressed down a path that it wasn't going to take. We do know that their value is not decreasing. Why? Because we know how life works. We know that it could never have unfolded any other way because of all the factors that played a role in how it came to unfold that way. Right? It's only the concept of free will. You had choice, someone could have chosen to act different. That's the one that makes people think it could have unfolded another way. The concept of free will, the idea, the notion the person could have chosen to act different, that is the one that is responsible for people holding the view that their life has gone wrong. It's also the reason why people believe their value is decreased. Now, so if you know someone who's walking around psychologically suffering because they believe they're a victim, you will only fix them, help them, by explaining to them, providing them with a big education on what life's about, how it unfolds, etc., so, and what a person's value is measured by, what the purpose of life is, how it helps you go, all that sort of stuff, right? So that they can understand why they are not a victim.
Yeah, that's massive.
That is what you've got to explain to them, right? That's a really big one. Now, how do we get into that? Parents.
Parenting,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, parenting. Parents are being taught not to stuff their kids up. You can't. You can only do that which you know. You can only act out as a parent your current level of development. And that is what all parents are doing.
Okay.
Right? And as a parent, yes, you can hold some incorrect views and it can impact on the child. That is the process of life. That is how it works for all of us.
Yeah.
That is life. And from that, kids can end up with issues.
Yeah.
Those issues play a role in the process by which the children who then, right, can encounter other philosophies and other things, can learn what is the correct understanding of life and how to treat people and philosophies and why. Right. It is very important for parents to learn that they can't stop their kids' life up. It is very important for children to learn the same thing. Why? Because as parents themselves one day, they need to be okay with the fact they're a parent.
Yeah, right.
And all they can do is what they think is the best. They will act out their current level of development, right? And though they'll be growing as they go along. So parent isn't about acting perfectly. That's not parenting.
Yeah.
In parenting, you're playing. Big pump?
No, I wasn't. I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As a parent, you're playing a role in your children's journey, their development. And the one thing you can always show your kids is you are only human.
Very true.
That's one of the biggest lessons you can ever teach them, because they themselves growing up and can be at levels of development where they may not act so well, right? And they need to understand that they too are only human and it's okay to be growing.
Yeah.
So parenting is not about teaching a parent, how can I put it? That you can always do the right thing. It's not. It's about explaining what it is to be human. It's about explaining how we all grow. It's about explaining what our value why is and why no one's value decreases, right? That is how you teach a parent what parenting is.
Okay. With parenting too, Greg, I think I found it as a parent myself very difficult to partake in social environments without using the "if you're good, you'll get" model.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just change a little bit. Right. Okay. The if you're good, what do we mean by the if you're good, you'll get? We mean this. If you're good, you'll get. And if you don't, right.
Yeah.
Now, that if you're good, you'll get. Basically, what they're saying is, if you live up to what we want you to do, if you set the example that we want you to set, right, we will give you your requirements. Why? Because we think you're valuable. Right. That's if you're good, you'll get. Let's alter it a little bit. This one. Our job as society, our role in society, our job as parents and, in society in general, our role is to make sure that you get what you need. That's our role. Our role is to make sure you get what you need. And boy, are you gonna get it.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. You're gonna get it. Meaning, whatever it is we're doing it to help you to grow. Okay, you can't go out with your mates tonight, or you can't go over in the sleepover and all these sort of things, right? Okay, you can't. But why? Well, at the moment, you really haven't been acting that well. And the only way we think that we can get you to understand the lesson or to listen to us and realize what we're saying is important is to do two things, right? Is that, yes, we're going to say you can't go over there, but that is not us taking something away from you. It is part of the process by which we are giving you something.
Oh, right.
We're helping you to grow. It's playing a role in making you realize that you've got to pay attention to us for a minute. We've got a lesson to share with you. So you can't play with your toys tonight, or you can't do that. That's not a take away from you. That's part of the process by which we're trying to gain your attention, right, to listen to a lesson we're trying to teach you.
I've never seen it that way. Yeah, that's
that model is about what you're providing your kids with. It's what you're giving them. You're helping them to grow. The other one is just a straight out, if you're good, you'll get, and if you don't, we're taking away from you. It's basically the missing out model. If you're good, you'll get means you could miss out.
Yeah. So if you're not teaching a lesson, I guess you're always going to be teaching a lesson whether you intend to or not.
Yeah.
But one sort of highlighting that to the child would be important.
That's the one. One parent turns around and highlights to the child consistently that we're helping you to grow. We're giving you these lessons. We're teaching you things. This is helping you to grow. The other ones are just simply, if you're good, you'll get. Well, you're not doing what you want, so you're missing out. You can't have this. You can't have this. You can't have that. You can't. There's none of this.
And there's no reasons. Yeah.
We are helping you to grow. So one emphasis is on we're taking away. The other one is about we are providing you with. Now, the other part is don't forget to give the lesson. And if
True.
you can't come up with what that lesson is, what are you punishing the child for?
Yeah. And how can you expect them to act any different in the future?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in other words, we're not really doing punishment, are we? In
Yeah.
wisdom, you're doing punishment. You're actually doing facilitation of growth. So quite often it's very interesting on what that thing is that you're doing to gain their attention. It's quite often different,
Okay.
right? But
Thank you.
anyway, the emphasis is more on we're helping you to grow. That's what we're doing here. You've got a lesson. You're not paying attention, whatever, right? So within it, whatever you're doing, you can't have your pocket money or whatever it is, it's really an emphasis on what you're giving, the experience you're giving them, okay? But you must give them the lesson that it is you thought they needed to learn. If you don't give them the lesson, don't expect them to act any different.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Don't just sit with the, oh, well, I told you, so that means
Yeah.
you should do it. Crazy
Because
one,
I'm
that
your
is.
dad. That's why.
How about this? Now, many people think it's because you know you're going to act that out. Who knows the road laws?
Yeah, everyone.
Right.
Who
Who
drives?
doesn't always obey the road laws?
Yeah, most people, really.
Right. So just because you know it doesn't mean you're going to follow it.
Yes.
To follow it, you have to have reasons that make you follow it. Or you're not going to follow it. Right? So just because you tell your kids something and they know it doesn't mean they're going to do it.
That's true.
What have you done to convince them that what you're saying is accurate and needed?
That's it, hey.
Right?
That goes
And
back into
so-
that management thing, understanding their
Yeah.
values, what makes them tick, where they're at.
Yeah, yeah. And whatever point you've got to get across, you've got to have the data that allows them to understand why it's correct. Hence, you're not going to convince them. Now, even if you convince them, they may not do it.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly
Why?
right. It
Why
might not
might
be.
they not do it?
Well, you might have given them a little bit of data, but not enough for them to
No,
change whether they're
no. Completely convinced them.
So
You
you-
gave them enough this time, and you convinced them.
Well, it's all values and belief based still. So they might have another priority that dictates how they're
priority.
gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So what can happen is, on a particular thing, you might convince them that that's very important. Completely convince them,
Yep.
right? But an event can happen that they believe for reasons is more important.
Sure.
Well, they'll do that one. So if they don't do that which you convince them to do, if they don't do it, what do you do? Well, I mean, what do you do? What's the first thing you do?
Sorry, if they don't do.
They
well,
don't do it. I mean, you
Yeah,
convince
you'd pull them up on
said,
it. You'd highlight it. You'd talk to them about it and say, "Look, that's not appropriate." Whatever it
No,
was.
missed it. No, got it wrong.
Is that what you mean? See,
No.
I failed parenting 101 already.
Yeah. No. You're just showing them you're human, mate.
Yeah, true.
Right, now, so what do? You showed them something, you gave them information, you convinced them, they said, yep, that's brilliant. I don't know what age you're talking to them, but, they go, man, Okay, now, so what do? They didn't do it. So what do? What's the first thing you do?
What would I do? First thing I do.
What's the first thing a policeman does nowadays? Not all of them, most of them, when they pull you over for speeding.
They'd ask you to step out of the car, probably, or they just. I don't know.
No,
What? Help me out here. I've lost.
The first thing they usually offer is, do you have a reason why you were doing it?
Ah, yeah, right. Find
They
out
do.
the reason. Yeah.
Yeah, find out the reason.
Okay.
Find out the reason why they didn't, because they will have a reason.
Yeah.
So you
true.
can completely have convinced them that thing that they needed to do, they needed to do.
Mm.
But because there was something else going on that they believed was more important for reasons, they did that.
I can hear my daughter knocking on the door now, trying to get in. How funny.
Okay, so that's important. So parenting wise, the biggest thing in parenting is to realize that life is a development process. Your kids are humans; they're growing.
Yeah.
Okay, they need help with growing. They do not have all the answers. Either do you, right? And you need to understand. You need to understand they could not have chosen to have acted different at that moment,
Yeah.
right?
As soon as I realize that, I'm able to step back and think, okay, maybe I'm being unrealistic in my expectations of my child here. She's only human. She's only a little girl. that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
In other words, you had reasons.
Yeah.
So what you do is you become interested in the reasons, right? So you need to understand how the brain works. They do not have choice.
Yes.
They have reasons. So if you want, there is one way to make your child put the weirdest look on their face. And it's just one. What you do is you ask them what those reasons are. You go, why? Nicely, and really me, you go, why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Yes.
But in a nice way. I'm not expressing this very
Yeah,
well.
I have done that. I know what you mean.
He would say it nicer. You say it. Why did you do that? Now, come on, give us a run. What would you say? How would you say it?
Oh, I'd say, Zara, tell me, why did you do that? Like, I'd try and say it as gently
That
as
was
I
good.
could.
That was good. It was better
Yeah.
than mine. That would have run for me. Anyway, that was good. Now, so out of it, you've asked them, why did they do it?
Yeah.
Not better then. Now, and she answers, she thinks about it, and she answers, and she gives you a reason. And then you turn around and you go, okay, you've got choice though. But, you've got choice now.
Yeah.
And she looks at you, stupid.
Yeah. Why are you
She's
asking?
giving you a reason, and you turn around and go, okay, well, you've got choice now. And she looks at you, stupid. You wait till you see that expression when the little kid, how old is she?
She's 3, almost
How old
4
is she?
now. Almost 4.
Yeah, nearly 4 years of age, and she's looking at you going, Dad, you're stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure that they would find that confusing.
Yeah, why would they find it confusing?
Well, if you're asking them why, you're saying that there's reasons that they did the behavior, and then you're saying, well, you shouldn't do that, or you could have not done that. Well, that's sort of
Yeah,
that's a
what we're saying-
contradiction.
It is. The contradiction is this. When you're asking them why they did something, you're declaring that their action was governed by reasons. Okay? But when you later turn around and say, oh, you have choice, you're actually stating that actions are not governed by reasons. That's actually what it means. You had
Yeah.
choice. No one has choice. They're going to act out their reasons, their beliefs. That's not choice. That's
No,
called
it's
being
not, is
governed.
it? Yep.
Right? So when you actually say to someone, when you say to a little kid, why did you do that? And they think about it and they go, oh, I didn't know. And you go, well, this is it, and you got choice. That's when the kid is now stumped, completely stumped.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
look at you stupid.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, the next time they're not going to tell you why they had reasons. They go, that's pointless.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So with it, you need to understand your kids are only growing. Okay, they have reasons for what they're doing, and if you want them to act different, you better come up with some good reasons, information that convinces them, right? But even then, if they act a different way, you find out why.
Yeah.
And it's quite amazing quite often when you find out why, it's quite a good why. Like, Dad, look around, the house is burning, let's get out of here.
Sure.
Sometimes it's good reasons.
Yeah, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
So we've looked at management, addictions, even parenting. What about
We're only shifting through at the surface of it, but go on.
Sure, but what about social situations? Something I observe when I'm just on the train or interacting with people that I don't even know in the street is that there's a general awkwardness about people at the moment, like the way that we're relating to one another. I know when I meet someone who's a little bit older in the street, they're, hey, how you going? They'll openly talk to me quite comfortably. Whereas now I find people are a little bit, there's this sort of fear
Right.
socially.
Yeah, so what's happening is you're getting on the train going, hi everyone, how are ya? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not like that, but
Oh.
I'm the kind of guy that'll talk to a stranger, and no matter how he looks or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. And what comes back?
Yeah, interesting experiences generally.
You suddenly become the stranger.
Yeah, sometimes for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Now, so
I know it's a big can of worms, but I guess
no. Let's do this. What are you expecting them to do?
Well, I'm wondering why people
Okay.
are scared of one another, and
All right, let's look at a few reasons. All right.
I'd
Right.
say
There's a couple, but I'm just trying to put
technology is
into
probably
certain
one of them. I'm guessing.
Okay, technology, you're talking more about the fact that you would say they're not used to communicating, which is
Yeah.
absolute rubbish. They are. Okay? The technology is, regardless of whether the person who's with you or not, has people communicating with people a million times more than they would So their means of communication is improving, not getting worse, improving. Their mind is used to having to come up with things to say when before it never did, right? So
Okay.
the literal electronics is not a problem, okay? Now, because it's still a means of communicating, right? It's different than that. It's got to do with this, okay? Our mind doesn't like two things. Being judged is one, right? And number two, actually, I'll do it another way. The people around you are perceived as a threat. Actually, let me pull this back a little bit. Let me pull it back. Shut my mouth off a bit first. Real quick. If you mean that they're only used to communicating by the device and not caring about the people around them, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
I
kind of.
don't have to communicate with that world around me.
Yeah, yeah.
Or my little world's in this box and I only need to communicate with them.
Yeah, well, I do mean a little bit like that as well. A bit of both, really.
Yeah, that one, yes, I could imagine that playing out where they got their eyes down and it's on the box
Yeah, all
and
the
their
time.
mind's communicating with the people in there.
Mm.
That could have people not used to looking and paying attention to what's happening around them.
Yeah,
It can have that effect and see them not to be in the world of that which is happening around them,
yeah, yeah.
right? That can happen when you're not looking in that little box, but looking up and around you, and you're consistently looking around you, your mind sees that as part of your environment in that component versus your environment's in the little box. So
Yeah.
yes, that side could have an effect. I can imagine that. The other one is what goes on is the people around us are perceived. It can go this way with many. They're perceived as a threat.
Yeah, that's definitely part of
Okay,
it, I reckon.
they're not the they don't see those people around them as the people that are actually going to make them feel better,
Mm.
support them, talk them up, and all of that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I think
They
like image and whatnot would come into all of that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so a lot of that is there. So they stay away from that which is around them because they're not as used to seeing that as being a friendly component. They see it as being the outside world critiquing them, etc. Now, our mind doesn't like being critiqued. Why?
My mind doesn't like being critiqued.
That's a general
Well,
statement.
okay.
A general statement for a reason.
We like to believe in free will, so
No.
doesn't like to be critiqued.
Well, we may not be doing well enough. We may
Oh
not be
yeah,
living up. We're
the
being judged,
developmental
right?
process that we still have things to learn and that we're human and
That
we're
can be
we're only
less.
growing.
That's all lessons. But what's going on is this: they don't like being critiqued because they don't want to be assessed as being lesser, as failing, not living up
Oh
to.
right, yeah,
Right?
okay, I got you.
That's because it's society's if you're good, you'll get. The if
Hmm.
you're good, you'll get. You've got to live up to a particular existence. You've got to show that in order to be worthy of receiving. So that means if we don't live up to that which we think the others want to see, we believe that our value is going to be dropping. It's not, but we believe that it will be because they may not like what they see. So what happens is, right, the social side, social phobias and all of that, what's going on in that, right, is they believe that socially, when they're with people, they're being assessed. And it's a chance of being declared as not being good enough,
Hmm.
not being living up to certain criteria by which your value is being measured.
Okay.
That's what's going on. Now, what happens is everyone can have a little bit of that because we're taught the if you're good, you'll get, right?
Yep.
So out of it, we can all have this little bit of, oh, I'm being judged. Oh, I wonder what they're thinking of me. Do they like me? Am I good enough? And all of this. We can all have a bit of that, but there's answers for that.
Yeah,
But
it's
what
totally
happens is,
true, isn't it, that we are being assessed by people, but we need to
yeah,
be
of course we
okay
are.
with that.
Yeah, that's right. They say out there, don't judge people. I go, what are you on about?
Yeah.
Your mind is going to judge them. It's going to form opinions about them.
Yeah,
What they're
absolutely.
wearing, how they're acting, the knife they're holding, the gun they just put in their
Yeah,
box. Our mind is going to be assessing them.
for
And it's
sure.
going to be assessing them via our current belief system.
Hmm.
right? That's what it's going to be doing. It's going to be. They don't tell people don't to judge people. They're going to,
Yeah, that one
right?
always makes me
Man, trying to live up to. They
frustrated.
keep what they're trying to get us to live up to. No human can,
Yeah, well, that's
right?
exactly right.
Okay. Now you are going to judge them by what? That's interesting. What are
Hmm.
you judging them by? You better not be judging them by anything else any more than what human is. Because if
Sure.
you're judging them to try and be superhuman, you're going to be the one let down. Now,
Yes.
so out of it, right? We will assess people. We will judge them. We can't help not. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so with it, in the beginning, say in social phobias and things, what's going on is they don't like being assessed by others because they think that if I don't live up to what others are be assessing me by, my value's going to drop. I'm in trouble.
Yep.
That's stage one. Stage two is totally different.
Okay.
What would stage two be of social phobias and things?
Now they're concerned about their phobia
Got it.
getting the attention.
That's it.
Yeah.
Originally, they're not worried about their phobia. Why? They didn't have one. Okay. But now they got their phobia. And their
They
phobia
don't want to be
is,
seen
right?
awkward and or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's still the same thing. They're scared of being judged, right? That was the original one. Am I wearing the right clothes? Am I doing this? Whatever. Does it look like I've got a good job? Whatever. But now, though, they're scared of being judged as not psychologically coping, right? So, in other words, the person with social phobia is scared of his or her own phobia. They're scared that the social phobia, their anxiousness and all of that, their anxiety and their fears, they are scared that that is going to be assessed as not psychologically coping with life.
Okay.
And
That
that's,
sounds like it would be a precursor to schizophrenia, doesn't it? Like it's probably the
it
road
can, things
to.
like that can go that way.
Yeah.
All those things can go to that way, right?
Sure.
They can. Doesn't mean they're going to, but they can.
Mm.
So what happens is, right? They end up, right, having the anxiety of. One sec.
Yeah, you're right.
No, I'll get that later. They end up having the anxiety of it's like being in stage two of anxiety, where you're anxious
About being
about
anxious.
preventing
Yeah.
the anxiety,
Uh-huh.
right? That's stage two of anxiety. And so, yeah, they're actually scared. They can't go out into a social setting because they believe that they're going to get anxious, and people are going to think, "Hey, you know, you're not acting very well. What's wrong with you? You know, you're psychologically not coping." And they believe that if they go into a scene like that, that their own personal value is going to drop further, and they can't go there.
Yes.
That's threatening. My own value dropping. If it dropped any further, I could die, right? Etc. So social phobias are about that.
Yeah.
They're worried about being assessed, but eventually they're worried about the fact they're going to be assessed to not be psychologically coping because that they're displaying nervousness and everything, anxiousness. Now, so what's the answer to that?
Yeah. What's the lesson here, Greg?
Man, it's got to be a few of them. Well, again, you do all the core stuff. You explain what life is, the development process. You explain how the development takes place. Well, how does development take place? How does development
Little
take?
bits of data adding up into new understandings
Where's the data come
from
from?
the environment.
That's right. We grow from our life experiences. What that phrase means is we are receiving data from our environment. When we look at all the people we watch, the things, the nature, the stuff, we are receiving our development in understanding life from our environment. Okay?
Yeah.
And so that means our environment is very valuable and it's playing a role in our development. All those people we're seeing, they're very valuable. They're playing a role in our development. Whoops, hang on, back it up. You're an experience to them. So what does that mean? You are valuable.
Yes.
You are playing a role in their journey and their development. You
Yeah.
are valuable. That is what your value is. Now, so what it means is a person with social phobias needs to gain a correct understanding what life's about. An understanding where they can understand that every life experience is just helping to learn more about life and life's developing them. Right? And hence we taught what human is. But within those lessons, you literally get to see that you and everyone else is playing a role in other people's journey. You are valuable. So the person with social phobia has no understanding at the moment of the role that they are playing in other people's journey. they are the person that other people needed to see.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're nervous, regardless
Yeah.
of whatever, you're
Could even
playing
be
a
an
role in
incorrect
their journey.
behavior at the time or an incorrect understanding you're
Yeah,
expressing to other people, but they're still benefiting and learning from
yeah.
that.
Even if you're nervous,
Yeah.
even if you have social phobia, you are also displaying how a human can end up feeling, the
Mm.
issues that they can have that's very, very common, right? So they're not aware that they are actually valuable. They are bringing to the group
For sure.
an experience for the group to grow from. They're not.
Yeah.
They're instead standing there going, "What are they thinking of me? What are they thinking about? Am I, oh my God, I'm nervous. Oh, they're going to think I'm not coping. Oh, it's all about that." They're not going, "Hey, who can I help here?
Yeah.
Who can I help to feel human?"
I can see
But like,
how that ties into image as well. I remember many years ago, and I related to this later on. I used to suffer from acne, and I remember being very self-conscious of it. And I've realized later on, when I eventually became okay with it, and eventually things had cleared up, I did view it as an opportunity for me to just show that I was okay because I had friends with acne, and if I showed them that I was okay about having
yeah,
acne, that was a lesson for them.
yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That's the way it goes. So when we look at the subject of image, what does image mean? Big topic out there. What does image mean?
Image is how we, how others see us, our perception of how others see us.
That's right. Our perception of how other people see us or our life. That's what image is. What's the role of image? Well, hold on. What do you think most people think the role of image is?
To show people that you can get what you want and that you're, oh, I don't know if that's what most people would think
No,
actually.
no. Put it right. No, no. You didn't quite express it correctly, but you're on the right track. What would most people's opinion of the role that image performs? What would it be? What do you think they would think image performs?
Well,
What's it there for?
to show other people something about yourself. I don't know how to say it
Yeah.
exactly.
How about this one? To impress others.
Oh,
Many
yeah,
people
it's true.
believe that image serves the role of giving you the ability to impress others so you can get what you want.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say. Yeah.
I know. When that's not what is taking place. That is not what is taking place. What is taking place is this. When people see you, you are data to their mind. You are playing a role in their development of understanding reality. As they look at you versus looking at others, looking at things, they are growing in their understanding of what it is to be human. They're growing in their understanding of the development process. They are not aware that is taking place, but little snip by little snip by little snip, they are growing. As per, they are looking at all various different people and seeing different ways by different way different people act and what people say and things and stuff and books they read and all of that, right? That is what's taking place. So image is actually performing the role of helping, right, the other people around you to grow.
That's
Every
super nice.
person
Yeah.
every person on this planet is playing a role in the development of other people. Now, what about you got a social scene? Okay, and there's a campfire. Doesn't need to be. Just sounded like a good idea. There's a campfire, right? And you got everyone talking. No, not everyone's talking. Some people are talking, and some people are listening.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a couple of categories there. You've got talkers, you've got listeners.
Yep.
You've got people waiting to talk, but they can't get in. But you've got talkers, people waiting to talk, and you've got listeners. Right?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. What happens is some of the people that are listeners are really upset with themselves. They're going, "Oh, I'm terrible. I'm hopeless. Look at the guy up there talking. Look at his life. Look at the story. He tells the best stories. Man, he's good at. I haven't got a story. Look at that joke. That guy. It's a brilliant joke. I haven't got a joke. I guess I'm pathetic. I'm no good. I wonder what they're thinking about me. Right? They must think I'm a loser. Whatever. Right? Because that guy up on the stage who's doing the talking, telling the stories, telling the things, he's amazing. I wish I was like him. Right. So what happens is some people are very scared of socializing because they believe it's going to show them up What? You haven't got anything to talk about? You're not good at talking? Can't tell a story? Can't keep our attention? Man, you're not doing well. Right. Okay. What they need to understand is there are talkers, there are the ones trying to talk, and there's also listeners. They're all important.
True.
The listener, right, is doing a great role. He's playing a role in helping the other listeners to feel okay about only being listeners.
Yeah.
Because you're a listener and you're sitting back and you're okay with being a listener, right? The other listeners might see that and feel, oh, it's quite okay to be a listener. Okay, yeah, it's all right. He's doing it well. I wonder if I can do that well, right? Being a listener helps others to learn that it's okay to be a listener. Very useful role.
Absolutely.
But you know the funny thing about it is, we're all talkers too. See, as a couple of people go to bed, right, and the group gets down a little bit, suddenly the dynamics change and, oh my God, you're the talker. Because the dynamics are different. You're suddenly the talker.
Yep.
One of the others, the listener. It's really interesting how that happens.
Yeah, true.
So, governed by the dynamics of the group, you're going to get the ones that in that dynamics, there's going to be certain ones talking and the others will be listeners, right? But that's governed by the dynamics of that group. But they're all valuable.
Sure.
They're all playing a role in everyone there's journey as they look at the different people and what they say, how they act, right? Someone gets up there and tells a joke and it falls flat and it doesn't work and he laughs about it. He thinks it's really funny. He told this corny joke. And what happens is the one sitting down thinks, yeah, it's quite funny when you tell a corny joke, isn't it? That's okay. Didn't know that before.
Sure.
Right, etc. So what they need to learn is this. Everyone, social phobias is the most common phobia there is. Why? Because society, if you're good, you get. Got to impress, got to impress, got to impress. So what happens is it's very common for people to be concerned about how are they going in reference to people seeing them. Right? They're worried about that. So it's very easy to understand how people can get to a point they don't want to be judged. And it's very easy for people to get to a point going, oh, my life's no good. What's happening in my life? Oh, I don't know. Look, all their lives are interesting. Mine's not. Everyone's life's interesting.
Absolutely.
People just aren't aware of that.
Yeah.
They're all interesting. Now, big lesson though. What do we... it is true that we can be taught philosophies that can make us worry about our image. Why? Because those philosophies say that the if you're good, you'll get says you're going to impress. And if you don't impress, you don't get, you're not valuable, etc.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So how are we going to deal with that? What's the lesson that image is, that whole beautiful subject, important topic, what's a good lesson for that one that it can teach? Or put it this way, how do we get rid of the stress of being concerned about our image? How do we get rid of the stress of being concerned about how we're being judged and rated? What's getting rid of it?
Well, my personal feeling is I just try to always remember that I'm human, they're human, be an example to other people that we're all just human is a positive thing.
That's good. That's good.
Is that what you mean? Like whenever I have a social situation where something happens, if it's a little bit awkward and you can tell everyone's like, So I try and make light of it and just show.
So what you're doing is you're sitting there going, well, in reference to the subject of image, what's going on? If people see me, all that's really happening is I'm playing a role in their development, and as I see them, they're playing a role in mine, and it's all good. It's all good. That's perfect. What's another way that people try to get rid of that people are told to do? They're worried about how they're being seen. They're worried about their image, and they're told what? How are they told to get to? What are they told to do to get about it?
Well, some people are told to stop worrying about their image, like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, stop worrying about your image. And what's going to happen if you don't? If you keep worrying about it, it's going to interfere with something else, isn't it?
Oh yeah, other areas of your life. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that sound like?
It sounds like cancer.
It sounds like skin cancer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cause of skin cancer.
And that
skin cancer happens when you reach the conclusion. It's got to be an issue to you. You reach a conclusion that the area of life to do with image, I think it's excessive. It's not. I think it's excessive, and I believe that it's getting to the point that it's threatening to interfere with other aspects of life. When a person reaches that conclusion, they're usually reaching that conclusion because they're thinking that either themselves or others worry too much about how they're being seen by others, too much about how people think about them, and they go, the amount that you worry about how people see you or what they're thinking about you, I think it's excessive, and I think, I'll tell you what, if you keep doing it, it's going to interfere with other aspects of your life. When you hold that conclusion seriously, that turns a skin cell into a cancer cell, right? And in that mode, any UV light, etc., triggers it off. So that is not the way to deal with issues about image. Right. The other way is the way he said. The area of life to do with image, great area of life. Skin's good too. Skin's very good.
Absolutely.
Right? So we better not call image bad, because image relates to skin.
Yeah.
So if we turn around and say, hey, stop worrying about your image, you think about it too much, stop looking after it and all this, that's like saying I'm not going to look after skin. Okay.
Question,
So,
Greg. If somebody
yeah.
had images about their issue, does that mean they'd be more sensitive to the sunlight as well?
If people have what?
Issues about their image, would they possibly be more
It depends
sensitive
on
to
the
sunlight?
No, it depends upon the type of issue they got about image. The type of concern governs the type of condition,
Yeah, okay, sure.
right? The type of concern about image governs the type of skin condition. Cancer of the skin happens when they believe that the area of life to do with image, they believe that it's excessive for reasons, and they believe that it's threatening to interfere with other aspects of life. That's what makes it skin cancer, right? So you don't deal with your concerns about image by going, I've got to stop worrying about it, because if I keep worrying about it, it's going to become excessive and it's going to interfere with other areas of life. You don't go that way, because you'll get skin cancer. You go the other way. You know, this area to do with image. Interesting. Big topic. Oh, well, it's one of the areas of life. Right, so let's look into our concerns and let's see if we can find some lessons that make us okay with the area of life to do with image. Right, because it's not interfering with other areas of life. It's actually not. Okay, it's one of the area of life, right, that we can learn great lessons from, and those lessons help other areas of life. So what we do is we don't go, stop worrying about image, it's interfering with other things if you keep worrying about it. You go, nope, image, important subject, let's have a look at it. What are your concerns? What can lessons be? Because we can talk, excuse me, just about any topic under that topic. For example, we can talk about self-esteem under the subject of image, can't we?
Yeah.
We can talk about future under the subject of image. We can talk about career under the subject of image. We can talk about parenting under the subject of image.
Sure.
Right? And what we learn about image, the lessons for image, they can help us in all different areas of our life. Doesn't interfere with anything. So what we do is, the answer is to get a correct understanding what life's about, that it's a development process. How do we grow? We grow from everything we're seeing, etc., etc. And, right, to understand the role that image is performing. Image is doing this. It is a subject of people seeing you in your life. And people will see you in your life. And whatever they see, right, that's playing a role in their journey of learning what it is to be human. Learning what life's actually about. You're assisting their development without you even knowing it. Just by them seeing you versus others. Let's do an example. You're down the supermarket, I think we did this the other night, down the supermarket, and there's a lady in front of you, and she's got all these bowls, and one drops and smashes. And someone goes, ah! You're there, you go, oh, Butterfingers, oh my God, just like me, I'm biggest Butterfingers out. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a hand, and you're in there and you're helping it. And people see how you acted compared to how somebody acted, and they're not aware that in that moment, they're all getting to see different ways people act and things and stuff, and they're all just playing a role in each other's development.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I didn't know that.
Great analogy, yeah.
Right? So, very common to have concerns about image. Why? We're taught to have them.
Yeah.
And there's lessons for it. And those lessons are, when people see you, no matter where you're up to in life, no matter what your level of development is, you are displaying what it is like to be a human at that level of development. And you are providing that data to others, and you're playing a role in their journey and their development. Oh, at the same time, they're going to be assessing you, and they might be assessing you by the wrong criteria, and they might be holding the wrong views about you. Life.
Yeah, and
That's life.
that represents where they're at, and that's all fine as
That
well.
represents where they're at.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But within that, you are playing a role in their journey and their development, and vice versa.
that's
Vice
such
versa.
a beautiful understanding. That one that really changed the way I felt in social situations for sure.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that. You're in a social situation and you're actually understanding that you are playing a role in that group, even if you're the listener.
Yeah,
You do not have to know the joke. You do not have to. I don't know a joke. Someone said, Greg, tell a joke. I don't know a joke. I think that'd be the joke. That's the joke.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
I don't know a joke. I literally don't know a joke. I think I'm a joke, but I don't know. I do know a joke. I'm the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
So with it, imagine being in a social setting, okay, and you're sitting there and you know you're being assessed, but you're okay.
Mm,
And where's your mind? Your mind is on the people around you. Your mind is on, I wonder what I can do to make them feel okay. What can I do to make them, I might get a chance, who knows, to make them understand that their life is going okay. They're doing all right.
mm,
I know you might be talking to the person next to you and you're listening, right? And you got on your mind, you know, this person, whatever their life, whatever's going on, I bet you any money you like, that person sitting next to you has got a few little social issues and, you know, et cetera, whatever. But you listen to their story and you're just trying to show them they're actually doing all right.
mm.
Their life is really interesting, and it will be.
Yep.
So it's like you're really going, how are you? Are you okay? I'm not saying to say that, but out of it, you're looking at their life and you're just going, their life will be a real example of life. They're only human. They'll have things to learn. And how can I make them understand that they're not stuffing up, their life's not going wrong, they're having a real life, and they're actually doing okay, and it's okay to be growing.
Mm.
Well, one way you can do it, you can hold that view about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you laugh at yourself, etc. Okay, but many people don't. They're sitting there and their mind's on themselves going, what are they thinking of me? What are they thinking of me? What am I thinking of me? That's enough about me. What do you think of me? You know the whole story?
Mm.
Yeah, etc. So it's amazing the difference in a person when they understand that they literally are playing a role in other people's lives around them,
Yeah.
even if just there.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. 'Cause I don't know if I've really explained to you exactly what I do day to day for work, but when I'm working as a personal trainer is what I do mainly. A lot of it's about image when people come to see me, how other people are viewing them, and I really feel my job a lot of the time is to just, remind people that they're only human and not to have these superhuman expectations of themselves.
Wherever they're up to, wherever they're at, right? It's okay to be at that place where they're at.
Yeah.
If they wish to get fitter, if they wish to do that, that's fine. It's great to be working on it. But wherever you're at, that's where you're at, and that's okay.
Mm.
That's totally okay.
Yeah. And then at the same time, someone in my position could easily start to think, all these people, they're so obsessed with how they look, it's interfering with other areas of their life. Like I can really see how the skin
can
cancer
easily
issue,
get
how
that, mate.
common it is in society,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. You can always use it where you're saying to them that the mere fact that they've come along, they're doing their exercising, what a great example to set.
Yeah.
But even, you tell them, but even let's make it even a better lesson than that. Wherever you are weight-wise, be okay with that at that moment too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even a better lesson to set.
So true. Yeah.
Right? Be okay with where you're at. And I'm not saying that's easy to be that way because
No.
hardly any of us are, right?
Yeah.
And I hide mirrors everywhere,
Sure.
right? But so out of it, right? We're not saying it's easy to do. What we're saying is, right, showing the example that you're trying to be okay with where you're at the same time is a good example. So I didn't say you're pulling it off.
Yeah, right.
Just that you're trying to be okay with where you're at whilst even you try and work on physical, etc., etc.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so, but there's good lessons. Now,
Yeah.
tonight, we've covered a fair amount, but
Yeah.
psychologically surviving life. Psychologically surviving life is not about gaining control over life. Psychologically surviving life has got to do with what understanding of life have you got that allows you to psychologically survive that which is taking place, right? And society teaches us the if you're good, you'll get foundation philosophy. And that if you're good, you'll get has us, our back of our mind, believing that our value is on the line if we can't live up to certain criteria. So people need to understand that when people aren't psychologically surviving life, what's really going on, if you look into it, they will be believing that their value is being questioned, that their value is being threatened.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to be getting them. They'll have ideas that they've got to live up to a certain criteria in order for their value to be considered okay. And they'll be concerned that that's being jeopardized, right? So understanding that your value is not decreasing, understanding that your value is nothing more, or put it this way, the reason why you are valuable is that you are automatically, whether you like it or not, playing a role in other people's journey and their growth in understanding life. That is what every person is performing on this planet. Everyone is, right? That's why we are all valuable and all of the same equal value, even though people don't know that.
Yeah, true.
Right? That is very important to understand that. And you've also got to understand life is not making you out to be a failure. How life unfolds, how much of it goes the way you want and how much doesn't, is not life trying to show you to be a failure. It's just life unfolding. And all the way along, you are having your life experiences, real life experiences, and they are furthering your understanding of life. That is what is taking place. Is that, right? So psychologically, to psychologically survive life is to actually be understanding. It's to understand that life's developing you. It is not interfering with your development. It is not interfering with your value, right? All life experiences are real life experiences that you're encountering down your path, and they're all progressing your development. Not your development in control over life, progressing your development in understanding life. That is what is taking place, right? That's how you psychologically survive life. The other way, believing that you've got to beat life, that the only way you become valuable is you've got to beat life. You must make it go the way you want, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You're not the only person on the planet. There's millions of people on the planet. There's air, there's things, there's weather, there's what? Many things. Thousands of things will go exactly the way you want every day.
Sure.
Not everything.
Yeah.
Many things you want to have take place and you want to accomplish your will, but not everything. And you got to be okay with that. That's just life. Your value's not on the line with that. So
That's right.
psychologically surviving life's got to do with what's your concepts of what life's about.
True.
It's not your ability to psychologically cope and believe you can beat everything. That is not about psychologically surviving life. That's where you would feel threatened by life.
Gotcha.
Right?
That's
So
great.
lessons in wisdom are very interesting. They're a little bit different than what most people think they are. Lessons in wisdom explain life. They explain that life is a development process. The lessons in wisdom do not state that you're the center of the universe and you're going to have everything you want. And one day, you might get to be valuable.
Yeah, right.
Lessons in wisdom don't state that. Okay? Now, one little thing. In that what I just said, I did not say don't try and have goals and don't try and work on life. We're stating the opposite,
Yeah.
right? You're out there, you're working on life, you're trying to make life go just the way you want, you're trying to control it. Every person does with every action in their life. So you're out there working on life, you're trying to control life, you're trying to make it go the way you want. That's what
Sure.
everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Right. But while they're doing that, every second along the way they're having life experiences, and life is providing their mind with data, and that data is progressively, little bit by little bit, adding up into an understanding of reality. It's providing them with development on what life's about. And that is what personal development really is. Your growth in understanding reality. That's what spiritual development is. Your growth in understanding reality.
Yeah.
And life is providing you with that. Little bit by little bit. Okay. That's probably enough for tonight in this.
That's a
in ours,
fantastic
for this.
way to finish it up. Yeah.
But the addictions was a good one to cover. The image was a good one to cover. Victim mentality, people don't like that. But there
Yeah.
is not a victim on the planet.
That's right.
But we have thousands of people stressed like crazy, committing suicide, etc., because they're being taught they're a victim.
Yeah.
They're not. But there's a heck of a lot of people out there with incorrect beliefs, right, performing actions that we would all agree are not good actions. And they need help with their development.
Yeah. This
Right?
work could definitely go a long way to improving the rehab system after someone commits a crime. I mean,
Exactly.
we just lock them away and we don't even address the why and
Yeah,
then try
let's
to
not. I reckon we should
fix
study
it.
them and actually then get to the thing, and you'll actually understand if you do that really well. You actually understand that society's core philosophy of free will, the concept of you had choice, mate. You could have chosen to act different then, which we easily prove you can't. Proved on
Yeah.
you the other day, right?
Yep.
They would actually get to see that that is at the seat of all the things in society that they would like to fix. It's at the seat of all of it,
Yeah, that's right.
but they're not interested in really getting to the bottom of why people are doing what they're doing.
Yeah, it's hard to see it like that, isn't it, when you're looking through the incorrect framework.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Beautiful. Well, Greg, thank you so much for the last 4 weeks. I really, really appreciate you sharing a huge amount of your time with us. I know you're a busy guy. I'm really hoping that these interviews will serve as a reference point that I can send people to, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to run into your work that have just never heard of you before. And
Yeah. No, I thank you enormously for this. It's great.
my
It's a
absolute
fantastic
pleasure.
way of doing it. I think we're very lucky to be able to do this by YouTube. This is great.
There you go. Technology allows us to
It's
communicate.
awesome. Yeah, it helps. Definitely does things. So
For sure.
it's a great way of doing it. Maybe in the future we'll organise some more, etc., and see where we can
That's a
go
good
with
idea.
those. But this is a good starting point from it. Oh, I did. The other point too is please remember that all this stuff we're doing here. A complete understanding of psychological stress, addictions, etc., and all those depressions, the mental health conditions, plus uh, the psychological triggers to over 100 different 100 different health conditions, physical and mental. All that's available. We've got 3 books for that. We've got one book's called The Psychology of Health, another one's called Effective Counseling, What are the Truths, What Works, and the last one's called The True Cause and Cure of Depression. All of those books are available, plus the audio programs to learn them from, right, at a specific website. And I think we've given it a few times, but the
Yeah,
website's
I keep
called
posting it in the notes too.
gregneville.net. Yeah, lovely. gregneville.net, www.gregneville.net. It'll take you to the pages where you can read about those books and the audio programs. And the other side too is we run programs to treat people here.
Yeah.
So all those programs are available too. And I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I also was going to ask you too, Greg. Are you doing some sort of retreats for people as well? And I remember seeing something, Greg Neville retreats.
We're going to be running the depression retreats here in Victoria, but we did find this. We found that the cost of the marketing to get people to literally know about the retreats, the cost of the marketing to do that, right, plus the cost of running was quite expensive, but what it does is it puts the cost of retreats right through the roof.
Yeah,
Where the general
sure.
Joe Blow just can't afford them.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
So it came out of our price range even to organise the actual marketing for it. We had everything
Yeah.
ready to go, had all the therapists that have been training this for years, the works, right? But we just found that we couldn't get it under people's noses because the marketing side nowadays, websites are nothing more than a business card.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting the website in front of people's eyes actually costs a lot of money nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we couldn't do it. So our programs aren't being run by a retreat. They're being run by the clinic. They're being run privately. 80% of my clients nowadays are by Skype, which is awesome.
Yeah, right. It's amazing.
So yeah, all that side's real good. But the retreats maybe down track a little bit. It just got it's too expensive.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And you're based in Melbourne?
In
If
Melbourne,
anyone wants to come and see you?
Yep, they can come down. All they've got to do is get in contact with us. The email is, I'll give that one, Greg Neville at iinet.net.au. Greg Neville at iinet.net.au. But that's
Okay.
on the website anyway.
Sure.
They want to drop an email, they can get in contact with us. Phone number if they wish to, if they do 0418 110 778, 0418 110 778. That gets us through to a mobile number, which is great.
Yeah.
You can always leave a message there if you need to.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely phone up, have a chat. If you need help come and see us. We've got great programs, and they work. Imagine that. They work.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't
All
it?
right, Greg. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing everything.
Yeah. Lovely
It
seeing
was-
you, Jay.
Yeah, you
And
too.
Thank
I'll
you
keep in
very,
touch.
very much for this.
No,
Can't
my
thank you.
pleasure. And yeah, we'll definitely do something down the track, I hope.
Lovely.
All
Take
right.
care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All the best.